Church, where It Is Written Canada is presenting a seminar on prescription for love this weekend, beginning tonight, and that's why we're all here. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, followed by a lunch, and then we have an afternoon program. What is the seminar about? End time prophecy. Nope. Something much more important to get us through the end time prophecy, how to have a healthier relationship. It's not just about marriage, it's about relationships with each other. And of course, we all belong to a community and a family. And so it's about that. And we have, of course, with us Marlon and Doreen Cliffe from It Is Written. Now, they don't host it, but they are special people. And why they are so special people? Because they're married for over 30 years, and I think they have 2 children, 2 wonderful granddaughters, 2 magnificent grandsons. So you guys are doing well. Granddaughters and grandsons? Wow. You guys are younger than I am. Okay, now. But the good thing is what makes their marriage so special is that they went through a tough time. They almost weren't even going to be here because their marriage was on the rocks. Now, how does that make it so special, Nick? What are you talking about? Well, when you've gone through troubles like that and you've made it this far and you're happy and Marlon has his arm wrapped around Doreen, you know they've made it out of the woods. And they are the best people to talk about troubles in marriage or talking about how to have a healthy marriage when you've come out of troubles like that. They say the best sailors are those that come out of the stormy seas, right? You don't want to book a flight or a boat with somebody that says, it's my first time. No. Which may explain why you guys were so delayed coming out of Toronto today. They just came about 10, 15 minutes ago. I thought I was going to have to prepare the sacrifice myself for the Philistines were coming, but no, it's good. We had faith, and sure enough, they walked in. And Marlon, he was dressed up, he was ready to go. Why? Because he's gone through troubles, right? And he knows what it's like. No problem, we'll go through troubles, but we're good. But when we saw Mike and Rene, it looked like my cat went out in the rainy day. And they walked in like they've been through a long flight. Because see, Mike and Rene, they never fight. You see, they just have a good relationship all the time. It's like when my mom put the plastic coverings on the furniture. It's so perfect, right? You want to learn from them? Absolutely, we want to learn from them. We want to learn from both of them. Mike and Rene are the hosts of It Is Written Canada. They have counseled many, many people throughout the years. And what a ministry. It's not just It Is Written Canada. It is seen globally. And they have a show where they bring in people to talk about how Jesus Christ has transformed their lives. And in fact, the last time they were here, they recruited one of our own for their show. So be careful, okay? If you're looking for a job, this may be your last time in British Columbia. You might have to go and survive the winters in Ottawa. So we're happy that you guys are here. And of course, Marlon and Doreen, a little bit about them too, is that they have counseled married couples, and they're actually certified. They're certified counselors, marriage wellness coaches. So there's something for everyone here. Again, you don't have to be married to enjoy this program. You can be a single person thinking about relationships, or as a single person, let's face it, look around you. You're part of a community. Let's have good boundaries. Let's have good relationships. So thank you so much, Mike, Rene, Marlon, Doreen, for being here this weekend. Thank you for coming out. And here's the secret. This is our winter. We don't need jackets, so you're good. You're safe. So we welcome you guys to our church today.
Thank you, Nick. I like Nick. He's always so alive. Is Nick always alive? You see him more than I do, so you got to tell me. Okay. There we go. I think they have it at the top. Got all our microphones? So we can start off with prayer in a minute. I'll just let you know a little bit of stuff. If you want to check out some things about It Is Written Canada and what we do, you can take a look at the QR codes there. And the different programs. One of them is Prescription for Love, which we're doing here this weekend. We also do a Revelation seminar, a little bit different than usual, called Hope and Healing. That reading the book of Revelation is not to frighten you. Did you know that? It's to give you hope and also healing. And that's something we're going to be doing here at the end of the year. And we're looking forward to that. We do also a technology seminar on tackling the temptations of technology. We have a Bible school, and we also do a program called 1 Week in Paradise, which we're going to be doing in our first one this year is in Ontario in about a week's time after we go back.
But then we're doing 1 year in BC in June. So,
Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
that's right, at Camp Hope. So this is where we are this evening, and so welcome. Thank you for welcoming us, and this is a church that we feel very comfortable in. So let's start with a word of prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you that you brought us here safely, and thank you for bringing each person here who is here for a reason. I pray that you will guide us, that we may discover that and may also be enriched in our relationships with each other and with you. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're starting 7 o'clock, just a little bit late now, but I wanted to start with this question. Why are you here at this seminar? And you can take a moment to talk, to turn to people who are close to you and answer this question. Why are you here?
And you can't say somebody drug you here.
Yeah. And if you're sitting by yourself, find someone else and just talk to them. Find a little group, make a group, okay? Maybe get up and go and sit near someone, okay? And if you want to come near the front, that even makes it easier for us because then we feel a little bit more connected with you.
I don't recognize him. Actually, the pastor there, Gordy Miller.
Okay. Any feedback? Anyone want to share with us what you found out? Why are you here? Did you discover that by talking, or did you discover why someone else is here? Anyone want to share? A little bit shy? Okay. Here's some of the stuff that we want to share with you, some valuable treasures, 4 valuable treasures you'll take away from being here. Number 1 is information. Information's good, isn't it? Yes? But if it just remains information, it's not as good as inspiration, right? Yes? Go ahead. Learn someone else's experience. I think you're going to learn, someone else's experience. And hopefully we can warm up and share some of our experiences, not just us, but you as well. And as you get to know each other and connect with each other. So information is good, inspiration, that's what we're aiming at. But then application, I think, is more important, don't you think? Yes. So you take that information, you're inspired by it, but then you start applying it. And the most important is transformation. And transformation, when you think of transformation, what do you think of? Change, Complete change. Like, do you think of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly? That's transformation. Different thinking. Transform your mind, the Bible says. And the word that he uses there in the Greek is metamorphosis, which is literally to take a caterpillar and it becomes mush, and then it turns into a flying insect, right? A butterfly. What? Can we have a what? Yeah, a faster way? No, I think we have to all become mush. And because the Bible says you die first, right? And then you're transformed. So dying to self. And that's the thing that we resist the most. But self is the worst of all of our enemies. And that's the hardest thing for us. So we're gonna talk about the masters versus the disasters. Now, this is not a terminology that we came up with. It's a terminology that John Gottman came up with, and we've got a book here that we're going to give away later. It's called The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. John Gottman is a researcher on marriages. He's studied couples in his Love Lab in Seattle, Washington for over 40 years. And after studying thousands of couples, he found out the masters versus the disasters. And we want to ask you 2 questions here. What are the qualities of a relationship master, and what are the qualities of a relationship disaster?
And just to kind of give you a hint, Mike and Rene are the masters, and Doreen and Marlon are the disasters. So over the weekend, you'll be able to see.
Not true.
But you've become masters.
Oh, they become
We are masters.
Yeah, they are
now,
masters. Yes.
We'll share what not to do, and they'll share what to do.
No.
So in your groups again, we just want you to discuss. We'll just give you a few minutes about what's a relationship master, because then the opposite will be disaster, right? Mm-hmm. So just discuss, what do you think relationship masters look like? And then we'll give you a chance to feedback. So
Okay, go ahead. Ask them. Okay, so Marlon's going to come with a microphone. Just put up your hand. What did you come up with in your group for the relationship masters? What is a relationship master? Just put your hand up, and he'll come to you. Go ahead.
Hi. I feel like relationship masters and disasters relate to healthy versus unhealthy relationships, and the red flags versus the green flags to look for, the good and the bad. And for me, a relationship master would be open and honest communication, even if it hurts, because sometimes you're going to get hurt, and you don't even think you're going to get hurt, but you do, or you're going to hurt the other person, even if you're not trying to. And that might be scary, but you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable sometimes, and yeah, you can just get closer to others.
So a master would be speaking the truth in love.
Yeah.
Very good. What's your name?
I am Hallie.
Allie?
Hallie.
Hallie. Okay. Thanks.
Hallie Lake, Halle Berry.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? I think she covered a lot of bases there. Very good. Go ahead. Natalia.
Sure. I think we talked about, I think you said the master is like wisdom that then manifests as selflessness, like sacrificing and putting other people's needs before your own needs. And then we said that works well when it's both, both people do that.
It's just not only one person.
Right. Yeah.
You can get reconciliation. You cannot do anything by yourself. There always should be two-way road.
They stole our point. No, it's okay. We were thinking along the same lines. I'm just joking. We were thinking along the same lines that selflessness is a relationship master. And we explored whether it's a mother-daughter relationship, parents-children relationship. We were talking about how from our African culture, we were raised in a culture where parents just tell you and you do. You don't think. Like, you just have to do because I said so. And we're like, now we are having to deal with our children who have an opinion, which we never had at that age. So now we have to listen to them and be patient and then explore what they want, so that it's not I always, and then sometimes you have to reflect and realize what they're suggesting or wanting may not be all that wrong. It's just a different way of thinking or doing. So then once you take that selflessness out and you allow them to say something, suggest something, and do what they're thinking, we think that is a master. And take it to work, your co-workers, your subordinates, your people above you, any relationship. We've kind of explored so many that it really, even if you're in a church board meeting, you can't always have your way. I'm the head elder, it's just got to happen like that. No, you have to listen to others. So it's not your way, my way, it's let's collaborate. So selfishness is a disaster, selflessness is a master.
I love that. And we're going to talk about that concept about accepting influence, letting people influence us positively.
Okay, so I wanted to get that lady's name. Your name is, next to Jemima, is Melinda? Melinda? With a Belinda and Naomi. I just try to remember names, and I know Natalia. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, Ted.
We talked about creating an atmosphere in the home where you can be vulnerable to your spouse or to your significant other. And so that you don't have to worry too much about being personally attacked if you reveal something very, very personal. Also, I think what's important too is asking for God's help, in your relationship. So, yeah.
Very good. Very good. Good. Anyone else? That was good. Thank you for your input. So we're going to look at what Gottman found out about the relationship masters versus the disasters. One sentence he said for the masters.
He said the masters are always looking for things to appreciate. So looking for things to appreciate and looking for the best in others. Because when we look for the best in others, we bring out the best in them. So there was the masters looking for things to appreciate. Whereas the disasters are focusing on fixing what's wrong. So they're looking for faults, and not just looking for them, but wanting to fix those faults. So fixing what is wrong.
Is there ever an end to fixing things?
Not in my house.
So you buy a car, you have to fix it. You buy a house, you have to fix it, right? You buy a wife, you have to fix it. No?
Pardon me?
So when we asked you the question, why are you here? Are you here to fix your spouse? Is that what you're here to
Some of you are being honest. I see heads shaking.
A lot of times we see, okay, listen up, that's for you.
Oh, my ribs are sore. Don't hurt the person next to you this weekend. Keep those elbows in.
We do a lot of coaching and counseling, but usually after we meet the first session, you can pretty tell when they want counseling, what do they really want? They really want you, they come, most of the time, they want you to fix the other person.
Fix that person. Yeah.
There's
Isn't that
something
what
faulty.
you wanted to fix me for the first 24 years, didn't you?
I tried to fix my wife for 24 years, and it was hopeless.
No.
It didn't work.
It was.
Yeah, people tend to resist our fixing. And so the fixing mentality is one that some jobs encourage. Can you think of a job that encourages fixing? What's that? In public relations. Yeah, that's true. Yes. A doctor. Yes. How can I fix you? Right? What about an auditor? Yeah, they're always looking for mistakes. And when you're looking for mistakes and then you come home.
There was an auditor who gets, like Mark said, paid to look for mistakes. And so he decided that he was going to do his wife a favor. And on a 3-page Excel sheet, he wrote down all her mistakes and all her problems, and then told her in this Excel sheet how to fix all the mistakes.
Gave it to her for her birthday.
How do you think that went down, ladies?
He put a lot of work into that, right? And he did it very meticulously. He knew exactly what her faults were and how to fix them. Did that work very well?
Nope.
He thought it would. Didn't. Okay. A good way to end the relationship. So one word that characterizes the masters. Can you guess what it is? Spending time together. That's not one word. Love is, yes. Forgiveness.
Forgiveness, that's a
We're
big
going to
one.
give you this word. Gentleness. This is the key word for the masters, is the gentleness. We all have conflict, okay? Hallie talked about it. We all have conflict. So you have that conflict. Things can go wrong. How do you deal with it? The masters see the conflict like a soccer ball, and they gently kick it back and forth. The disasters see their partner as the soccer ball, and they don't do it gently. So there's a quote.
We want a spirit of gentleness. We cannot live right in the family circle without it.
Sounds
So
like
we-
air, doesn't it? Like you have to breathe. Okay, so what's the one word that characterizes the disasters?
I'll let my wife speak to this one.
What? You think I know it too well? What's the opposite of gentle? Harsh.
There you go.
Yeah, so disasters use harshness. Proverbs 15:1 says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a what? Harsh word stirs up anger. Yes.
That quote goes on, in order to have the proper control of our children, we must manifest a spirit of gentleness. We do not want to have a fault-finding spirit. If we teach them to have a spirit of gentleness, we must have a spirit of gentleness ourselves.
Okay, so we're going to give you a little bit of a demonstration of this. You guys want to go through this one and read this one out loud? This is a parent-child relationship. As you said, it's in all relationships. So let's take a look at this mother and her children.
Why can't you ever listen to me? I've told you a million times to clean up your toys. And you know, you just ignore me. I am so tired of this.
But we were going to clean it up later, Mom.
You're going to clean it up later. Yeah, right. You always say that, and you never do it. Never. I don't have time to keep cleaning up after you. Just pick it up.
Okay, so what was so bad about that? Point out some words that she's using. Does it sound kind of real? Okay, what words are being used there by that mother? Go ahead. Always. Okay, what else? Okay, the other one is never, right? You got always and then never. Those are exaggerated words. Okay, what else are we saying here? What's she doing wrong? What's that? There is sarcasm there, yes. Told you a million times. What else? She is. And how do you know she's complaining? What words are being used? You, right? Is she talking about herself? No, she's not talking about her feelings. She's talking about her, everything is you. This is a disaster. When you're pointing out, always, never. The hardest thing is to catch yourself when you do these things. Because when you're in the middle of doing it, you don't even know you're doing it. You just do it. You just go to escalation mode.
My wife just says she was expressive.
Expressive, yes. That's how you're feeling.
It's true. We hear this a lot when we're coaching couples. You know, that's how God made me. I'm just expressive.
Yeah.
But do we have control over how what we do and our behavior, how it affects somebody else? We do have control.
Yes.
And does our tone of voice make a difference? How we say something? Can it be harsh or can it be gentle, which is even our tone and our body language? Yes.
So Belinda said something very interesting. It was our culture in Africa. This is how we talk to children. They must listen. We just listen and we obey. But then when we come over here, what I found I really liked about what you said was that you are willing to listen to your children. That's huge. That shows humility. And so often what we will hear as well is when we suggest gentleness, people will say, that's not our culture, right? That's not our culture. Really, is it a cultural thing? Or can you learn? Can you change? That's not part of our family. It just sounds so fake and so phony, like we don't talk like that. That's true. There's a lot of things I didn't grow up with that the way I grew up was very harsh, but I learned something different and I had to practice it. You ever practice an instrument and it sounds squeaky to begin with? But then the more you practice it, the more it sounds like music. So here's what we want to suggest to you. The formula for a gentle startup.
So 4 things. I appreciate, I feel, about what, so stick to that situation or that circumstance. Don't go back in history to what's happened in the past. And then I need. So you'll notice here that the you is being replaced with I words. So I need, I appreciate, I feel about the situation, and I need.
What's the hardest part of that to do, to say, of those 4 things?
For a man, for me, I feel. I have a hard time expressing my emotions.
Okay.
And what
And
about for
for
you?
a woman to not focus on you, but talk about the event or the incident rather than attacking you. Is that hard?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult.
And then some people have a hard time expressing really what they need. We actually were coaching with a couple this last week, and I was talking to the gentleman, and he says, "Well, I'm just going to be, compliant and just do, I don't want to talk about. I want to express what I need because I ended up in a conflict. So I'm just not going to express what I need. So a lot of people I'm not going to tell them anymore because every time I do, there's conflict. So
Yeah.
I'll just live with whatever." And they've been roommates for the last 15 years, and he plans, his strategy is just to be roommate and not create conflict by not expressing his needs. But yet he's not content.
But they're married,
Yeah, they've been married for 25 years.
and they're roommates.
They are roommates.
Okay.
There's no emotional connection. They plan around the kids' events and finances and they pay the bills, but really there's no connection.
Is this common?
Unfortunately, sadly, very common. Even amongst the saints, it is very common.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the parents. Let's not get personal about anybody or think, about how this is hard. But let's look at this parent with her child. Let's change it around. So, Mommy, try and do it differently.
Yeah, Mommy, please speak a little nicer.
Okay.
Gentle.
Should we do a redo?
Please, Mom.
So what's the formula? I appreciate. I feel. When. And then I need. So let's see if this incorporates all that. I love the way you play so creatively.
Oh, thanks, Mommy.
Yeah, hey, I see your toys are still out. And I really need your help cleaning up. So let's pick them up together so we can keep the room nice and safe and clean. Can we start with your blocks and do this together?
Okay, sure, Mommy. Let's start with the blocks.
Does that sound different? Do you know what kids need the most? Togetherness.
It's pretty good for husbands, too.
Yeah, it does work for husbands too. I was the kind of mom who would say, go clean up, and then I will do something else. It's like conquer and divide, right? You do your part, I'll do my part. And then we'll be able to get more done faster. So I did not recognize that my kids needed a mom to do with them. I knew they could do it on their own, but is it more fun doing things together? How many of you were like me? Conquer and divide, let's, got my list, let's check it off. But is togetherness focusing on relationship or the goal? My list is focusing on the goal, but in this redo, Mommy's focusing on relationship, togetherness.
So again, a soft answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stirs up anger. The Bible talks about it this way. It says, for out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when you hear someone say something, you realize probably a lot more inside that you're not saying. But if it works the other way around as well, if you're speaking good words, then you're like, oh, there must be a lot of good things inside that you're feeling about me. So there's an indication that happens in the words that we speak.
On the basis of a 15-minute conversation, researchers could predict with 91% accuracy whether a couple would be married or divorced within 10 years.
15-minute conversation.
15 minutes, those first 15 minutes, like in a 15-minute conversation, whether it was gentle or whether it was harsh.
And what was
Right.
more important was not just the 15 minutes, but the first few seconds of an interaction.
But 96, so it's going from 91 to 96% of the time, you can predict the outcome of a conversation based on the first 3 minutes of these 15-minute interactions. So a harsh load of negatively powered words simply dooms you to failure.
So, how much time do you think people are spending together as a couple these days in face-to-face conversations, communicating with each other and sitting down and having a lot of talks? Not much. What's the average for a Canadian couple? Yeah, in a week. 6 minutes a week?
Wow.
A week? 1 hour a week? Okay. What does research tell us? It's 35 minutes. Yeah, 35 minutes a week. So that's not much, is it? And I remember at one of the churches, we shared this, and the couple afterwards, one of the couples came to us and they said, we kind of were really thrown off by that, but then we started to realize that most of our communication is by text. You get the kids, you do this. And then I said, how do you feel about that? And they said, well, actually, we prefer to text each other because we don't get into arguments that way. Right? So the face-to-face interaction, can you have difficult discussions without it being harsh? Can you have difficult conversations and do it in a gentle way? That's what you're aiming at, okay? So let's give you an example. Oh, go ahead.
So I just want to say before Mike and I do a role play that this is not easy,
No, it's
being
not.
gentle. Because usually when there is conflict, it is a perpetual, it's something that's ongoing. Like the kids leaving their toys and not cleaning up every time, right? The conflict or the role play that I'm going to do now with Mark is a perpetual problem because he thinks that having a 12-minute shower is short enough. 12 minutes is a long time. Is there anyone that agrees with me, Yara? Like having a 12-minute shower, that's too long, right? So,
For some people I've seen, they can do an hour-long shower, and that's not a problem. So I think my 12 minutes isn't
but
problem.
what I'm saying is that this concept and this formula for gentleness is not easy, especially if it is a perpetual problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, Doreen mentioned earlier on that with her children, doing things together instead of conquer and divide. It's very difficult for some of us if we are planners and things need to get done. Like,
Task-oriented.
and we're task-orientated and we're performance-driven because that's the way that I was raised growing up in South Africa. Like, let's get things done. You have to be successful. You have to go to school. There's no playing around. Let's organize. Let's get structure. Let's get routine. It's very difficult when you are performance-driven and you need to and you're focusing on that to-do list when things need to get done to be gentle. Does that make sense? It's something that we cannot do on our own. We can't, right? And what makes it even more difficult to practice gentleness is, I'm going to share with you right now, we use the acronym HALTS. HALTS. When you're hungry, when you're angry, when you're feeling lonely, when you are tired or exhausted, and when you are sick or when you are stressed. it's very difficult to be gentle.
Did you get the HALTS there? Okay. H is hunger. Hungry.
Hungry, yeah. Some of us, like myself, when we become hungry, we become hangry, right? So, so it's hungry, angry, lonely when you're feeling lonely, when you're tired, or when you're stressed or sick, right? So we're going to do a role play now for Mike being in the shower for 12 to 15 minutes. This would be harsh. Michael,
Yes.
why do you always have to shower for so long?
I don't shower for so long.
You use all the hot water,
What?
and I end up having a cold shower.
Oh, I don't.
And then we're late because you're in the shower for 12 to 15 minutes.
That's not even long.
You are so selfish.
What do you think?
What's wrong with you? Okay, so tell me now, what was harsh about that? Yes, Hallie.
Yeah, you.
You. Lots of yous, right?
Yeah. A lot of attack. Do you like it when people attack you? No. What did I do in response? Yeah, defend, right?
Yeah, he was being
And usually
defensive.
criticism is responded with defensiveness, okay? These are some of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, okay? So we talk about now the gentle startup. So let's try it again, love, where we do a gentle,
Okay, I'll do a redo.
appreciate, I feel, okay, there you go.
Love,
Yes,
I really appreciate how cleanliness is very important to you.
it is, yes, yeah, you know.
And that aftershave that you use, oh, it smells really good.
I'm glad you like it.
But I feel angry and frustrated
You do?
when I have to have a cold shower
Oh, that's not nice. Oh,
or when we're late. And so I wonder if it would be possible for me to shower first, or maybe for you just to shorten your showers a little bit.
I think it'd be better if you showered first.
Okay. Okay.
I have a better idea to practice togetherness.
I was thinking the
Shower
same thing.
together.
So, when we've done this before, we've actually had people who have said to us, that's so phony. I could never do that, right? I could never do that. Or we had a lady on the front row once who said to my wife,
She said, as soon as I said, I appreciate our cleanliness is so important to you, she said, you're lying. Because that's how difficult it is to do that when you're in the moment, especially if any of the halts is there, right? And if it's a perpetual problem, like if it was just once, that would be okay. But every day, showering 12 to 15 minutes, does that make sense? Like it's not easy to practice these gentle startups if it's a perpetual problem. Am I making sense?
does this help you, though, to see that it is possible? Okay? It is something you do have to practice. And it's something that you can hit the button and you always have a way of getting out. What do we call that? A redo?
A redo or a repair attempt.
A repair attempt? Okay. So you can always say, Mayday, Mayday, let's have a repair attempt. That takes a lot of humility to say, wait, I did that wrong. I shouldn't have said that, right? And say, I am sorry, please forgive me. Let me try that again. Okay? I think this is really, really important. Give us an example of some of the things that maybe you've...
Just comment on the phoniness. Actually, after our last seminar 2 weeks ago in Toronto area, somebody came up to me and asked, legitimately, what do I do it seems so fake, or it seems, you fake it till you make it, but I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel honest, right?
Yeah.
But so in James, it talks about those who practice righteousness are righteous, right? So practicing makes perfect. So practice till we get it right is different than faking it. Just like when you used the example of playing an instrument, like a violin. You don't start off playing perfectly. You're not faking to practice, you're practicing. So learning these new skills, or new being a gentle startup, or it just takes, does it seem a little bit fake at first, but it's just practicing a new skill.
That's right. And it might feel clunky to start and you might make mistakes, but as you do it over and over, you'll notice you'll get a way better response from those around you. Yeah, and you'll know you're doing it right when you get that response that you're looking for. Yeah.
So I was at home. I got home after work. My wife and children were out, and I got home. I was like, got in the house, and there was a whole pile load of dishes on the counter. And, my wife, she homeschooled, she looked after her acreage and cooked, but, so I'm not sure what she did all day, but she couldn't have the dishes done, and, the dishes, supper wasn't ready. So I was thinking, okay, but I was being nice, so I thought I would clean up all the dishes. I spent an hour and a half cleaning up the counter. And I even got out, I polished the sink, it was just glistening. And everything looked just perfect. So, because I know my wife likes a clean kitchen, so I thought, okay, I'll clean it up. So what do you think I'm expecting when she comes home? A thank you, some appreciation. Thanks, honey. A pat on the back, gold star, whatever you want. Some value, appreciation, yes. But what do you think happened?
I walk through the door, and what do I see? You can't finish anything you start. Look at the pot on the stove. Like, you always leave the pot on the stove.
Honey, I just spent an hour and a half cleaning the mess that you left. Why are you not home? Why didn't you clean up the kitchen before you left?
The mess that I left. Yeah, well, if you would help me, I had to run into town to get groceries because we had nothing left in the fridge. Would you go get groceries? No.
It's your job.
My job. And then on the way home,
I have to work all day.
The gas light went on. And I had to turn around and I had to go back and fill up fuel. You were the last one using the vehicle. You should have filled it up with fuel.
It's your car.
My car, well, don't use it and drain all the gas.
And you know what? The potatoes, you burnt them and you scorched the pot so bad I couldn't clean off it. So if you wouldn't have burnt the potatoes, then I would have been able to clean the pot.
Really? Do you even know where the pot scrubber is?
What's a pot scrubber?
Let me show you.
You can never do anything right. You just can never please you. You're impossible to please. I just sick and tired of it.
I'm impossible. You're impossible. You can't even finish what you start.
Okay, this is now a repair attempt, please.
I know, we usually get people's blood pressures up.
Oh, mine is raised, actually. I'll have to do some self-soothing now.
Let me self-soothe. So what would I do when I walk in the door using the formula? I'm going to show an appreciation, and that can look like anything. You don't have to say, I appreciate, but it can be an appreciation.
But how were you feeling when you walked in the door?
Stressed.
Why?
Because I had been rehearsing in my mind, my husband never helps me with anything. I have to do it all. He drains my fuel tank, and I have to fill it up.
But I work and provide all the money.
You work. I'll switch you jobs any day. So you can see how it goes, right? The expectations that I have are not being met. But if I was to express what I need in a positive way instead of a negative way, would it go better? Okay, let's see if it goes better. You tell me when we're done. Walk through the door, look and head to the kitchen with my bags of groceries. I see my husband standing there just polishing the chrome on the tap, the kitchen sink. Oh, honey.
Yes, honey?
It's been such a stressful day. I got away late and didn't get groceries sooner when I thought and had to get fuel, but I walked in the house and the pile of dishes are gone. You have no idea how loved I feel right now.
You feel loved?
I do. You know that my need to have a clean kitchen before I start cooking.
I know you like a clean kitchen before we start, yes.
And you heard me, and you understand me, you get me.
I know you've been busy, so I just wanted to have a clean kitchen.
Yeah.
So you ready to make some dinner? You want help?
I would love help, but here, let me finish. I need that pot, so let me work on the pot and
No.
clean it up.
Let me. I always want to, finish what I start. So you go.
I know you do.
You go sit down on the couch. I'm going to finish the pot, and you just take 10 minutes to rest because I know you've been about busy in grocery shopping. So let me finish the pot, and then we can maybe make dinner together.
You have become such an amazing man of action. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, how do you think it went? Pretty good. I appreciated him. I told him how it made me feel. And I talked about the situation. I chose not to see what wasn't done as something negative, but rather, let's do togetherness to finish.
Can you see how those first 3 minutes of the conversation really determined the outcome? We can just, those first 3 minutes, if we change from that harshness to gentleness, we can avoid 90% of our conflict, right? And continue in the relationship.
And we can draw them closer. See how he moved closer? And the first way, he would be moving further away. Yeah.
So when you're feeling mad, hit the pause button and say gentle. If you have to say it to yourself 20 times before you speak, do it, right? Gentle. Gentle. Breathe. Peace. Gentle. Okay? Give yourself that time so that you can figure this out. I know that when we say these things, people have resistance. I had a professor who was sitting on the front row in Ontario, who stood up and he said, all these things that you're saying sound very nice, but that just doesn't work. And I was like, it works if you work it, right? Are you willing to work it? This is what the Bible says. He who keeps his tongue keeps his life. And he saves himself from destruction. Same thing, right? Yes, okay. So we're going to give you an example that some people look at this scenario and they think, man, that's really far-fetched. It's not. This is a pretty common one, okay? And see if you can make it gentle.
Okay, so here's the scenario. Jane comes home from a long day with children in tow to find her husband Pete playing computer games after his long day at work. She asks him for help in making dinner. And when Pete tells her he is tired, Jan snaps. So this is a harsh startup. You're tired? Cry me a river. I've been with the kids all day, running around like mad to keep this house going, and all you do when you come home from work is flop down at your computer like a child and play those idiotic video games. I don't have time to deal with another kid. Can you be more pathetic? Okay. So is this something that happens on an ongoing basis? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What is harsh about this? Yes, Hallie.
Yeah, blaming.
Lots of complaining, lots of blaming.
Blaming and complaining and snappy. I think that's the word you used, yeah? Did you say snappy? Snapping. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see the harshness here that she's using? Like, I don't have time to deal with another kid. Can you be more pathetic?
Condescending.
Right? That
yes.
is condescending. That's contemptuous. Right? So, those idiotic video games.
Can you identify anyone and say, hey, I would feel upset if this was a situation for me too, right? So living yourself into that situation. So we're going to give you a chance in a group to come up with a gentle startup. How would you deal with this situation? Go ahead. Oh, you want to put it on the screen again? Okay. So you got the formula? Got it. Okay. There you go. There's the formula. There's the situation. Do you want to look at the harsh startup, or do you want to look at the scenario? There you go.
The shower thing's good. I like the shower together. I was thinking the same thing. Kill two birds with one stone. Togetherness. You're conserving on energy and water. You both get hot water. You both get cold water. But okay, so just between the four of us.
Oh, next one. This is the scenario. Okay.
Okay, so off the record. Have you ever spoken like that? I just can't picture you ever having a harsh startup. You seem so.
Yeah, this is not common for me.
But it does. So you can't have. So is it in the halts where you've been?
That's when she's tired. Yeah,
Tired most of it. It's just
or
the hangry is a big thing. So when you
for Rene.
Then the tired and the hangry is that there's been a lot of stress lately.
the stress. So it just
Yeah, so that's
bubbles over into the yeah.
anxiety, and then I just
Yeah, I heard you add stress. Normally you say sick. You added stress tonight.
Yeah.
Because now you see that one's that's a big one.
Yeah, because we have the kids. But in the past, it was Renee would work until she was hangry, right? And then I would say, hey, we need to go and get something, right? Like I'm hungry now too, but that would not be good, right? Because she doesn't want to leave her work.
So focused and driven.
Yeah. So
yeah, because it's performance, right? It's
Performing.
that to-do list needs to get done.
And you won't stop, and you'll sacrifice your food and even go into your blood glucose level drop.
And I think that's one thing that I'm starting to realize now with the kids being there.
That's a stress every day.
It's been a stress. There's been a lot of changes, but I've realized how driven I am, and that and how I was raised like that.
So you recognize it before, because we've talked about it over the last years, but it's actually it's even more.
oh yeah, but it's manifested because
You're in it.
yeah, and you've got kids making a mess, right? And then everyone, and we're trying to get food ready, and we're trying to get to work, and then we come home, the place is a mess, right? You know, say, and Renee, it doesn't matter how big or how small the mess is, it has to get fixed now, right? And that's really hard for her. Not.
I've had to leave it, and like Doreen has helped me a lot to rewrite the story and to reframe. You know what? It's okay if there's toys all over the place.
So can you actually be okay now if you come in, there's a little bit of a mess?
It's getting better.
It's getting better.
But it's not.
Still struggling, but it's still there. But you're coping now.
Yeah, she just does it. She does. I don't even think she thinks she's doing it. She just does it. Just do it. Renee just.
You can handle it for like 3 days, but then on the 4th day, it's kind of like, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's not.
That's the way I can be.
Yeah.
I can handle it for a time, but
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've had enough of this.
what's kind of funny now is that actually Doreen is going to be cleaning dishes for like 3 days. I'm the one now that's like, so it's like, I used to be kind of the one that's laid back, because now I'm one that, I don't know if it's a strategy to make me do more, but I'm actually cleaning more and vacuuming, and which is gone now. I'm cleaning the house, and so I probably are more concerned than she is now, which is interesting.
Yeah,
More chill.
I think we're more
But
equal
you're
in that
putting,
way.
you're putting the relationship, but you're putting.
But it does take a lot of rewriting.
It does. It does. Rewriting.
This is a phrase I constantly ask myself, is the role more important at this moment of a relationship?
Doing the dishes once in a while is okay too.
And Marlon will come home and he'll say, I'm going to get up to do the dishes. Let's just snuggle on the couch, so we go lay on the couch arm in arm, right?
But she would never have done
And
that.
then we forget about dishes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
then one thief, go do something else.
Yeah. And then just add 2 little children.
Yeah, no, that's.
Like, they need your time until they go to bed. They are full, and there's 4 of us taking care of these 2 little kids.
I would have, that'd be a huge adjustment, that stress.
I don't know how Joanne did it on her own.
It's like your world has been tipped upside down right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably stay in my office a little longer.
But just little things like, like just unpacking the dishwasher. So then it's,
Okay? Yeah. So, we're going to ask you to give some inputs. Anyone want to try a stab at this one?
I heard, it sounds like you wanted to, no, are you sure? Yeah, I think,
Here, Doc. Come on, Doc.
Experts.
Is
A
it
little bit
Naomi?
of Mike on my
Yeah?
hand.
Okay.
Well, I have to start with a joke. Jemima said she can't even get past the video games. It's hard for her to get past the video games. Especially
games.
the video games, yeah. Especially what you were saying, if it's something that constantly happens,
Yes.
it's hard to get just past that to even think of something. Anyway,
Yes.
so I'll share. So we were talking about walking in the door and saying, "Hi, honey, how was your day today?"
Yes.
And then what did you say?
It was good.
It was good. It was good.
And then what did I say? And then something you can say is that, love, I know that you work so hard, and I know video games really make you relax. Today, I've been really tired. The kids have had extra energy today, and I've been just running around, so I feel really, really exhausted. And it's almost dinner time, so I wonder if you can help me start cutting the onion, and I'll start putting the hot water for the rice. Can you help me do that?
Okay, where is onion? Where is onion?
So I guess the strategy there is to show togetherness.
Yes.
You're not just telling him to get up, but you're saying, you can do that while I do this.
Yes.
And together we can
Yes.
have dinner.
Good. I like the way you started, though.
Rice cooker, and then I'm going to ask what's the rice cooker.
Yeah. But I like your startup, though. What was her start? What the startup was, I appreciate the fact that you work hard.
Right.
And you must be tired.
Yeah.
And he needs to relax, and I can see that you relax. Good. And then you're telling your needs, so thank you. That was good. Anyone else? Okay.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that when I first saw that, I'm thinking, first of all, like when you use the video games are so highly addictive. It's
They
like
are.
a highly addictive drug.
It
So
is.
when you come home, she's tired, he's playing his video game. I don't think it really matters in a lot of ways when a person's so involved in this game, because it is like a drug.
It is.
It's probably not the good time to even start to try to get into a discussion about,
Yeah.
I'm tired, let's, help me with the kids, let's do dinner. So I'm thinking the person that came home, it would be best to maybe deal with that situation while he's still playing his video game, and then try to say, when he's finished his game,
Yeah.
let's discuss a situation that happened earlier because I'm really not feeling too good about it, and maybe we can work something out, and then let's sit down and discuss it. Because you can't do it when he's playing his video game.
Yeah. Got you.
Timing.
Good point. How long does a person play video games for? It can go on for hours, you know? So if somehow you could say, is it possible for us to, you know, have a timeout? I know that you're tired right now, and I know that this is your way of de-stressing, but I really need maybe 15 minutes. Would that be okay if I call you in, or set a timer, whatever? I don't know. Just something to interrupt the dopamine, right? Like he's just playing that game, right? Yeah. So at the back, go ahead. Oh, microphone's not on. It's a red one. It should be on now. Try it again. Try again.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, my concern will be first on your first thoughts or first feeling about the situation. Before you start expressing all this, what is your first reaction or first feeling about the situation? To me, I think that matters most, because the other one is where you are trying to reorganize your approach to handling the issue. But when you find that things are chaotic like this, what is your first reaction, feeling? In your internal compass, how do you feel? To me, it will be first to manage that before you go in now to organize how to approach the partner or how to communicate with the partner. Because structuring your thoughts to communicate with the partner is more of like, how can I put my anger, how can I express my anger in a soft way? So first, to me, the most important thing will be avoiding the anger. Despite that things are bad, you need to handle your anger, your internal feeling about it. Either your first reaction will be to forgive him for the mess or for the way things are, and then now you communicate to him, or accepting that things are bad, everybody's tired, then you find out a way of handling it. Other than expressing in more of like a manipulative way, if I can use that term. It's not the best term to use, but managing your first reaction as an individual is way more important than now communicating to him.
Very good. Very good. So your first thing is to deal with how you're feeling yourself. Yes, I very much agree. Any other thoughts?
That's really hard, though. Can someone make me angry? Can someone make me angry?
Go ahead, Haley.
Okay.
Microphone up there. She's got the microphone. Go ahead. Yeah, you can speak into it. She's just turned it on there. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Oh,
it's
yes.
the red one.
So our group discussed it, and I think, one of the things to consider is that, the mom with the kid all day, continue with the kids is different from dad taking over. So, like the others said, I appreciate the work you do to keep a roof over our head. It must be hard, being the only one working, so on. But I've had a long day with the kids. And, they've been excited for some playtime with you. I understand you need to decompress. Would you mind, sharing the video game or having some other playtime with the kids? Just so that I can have a little break, take a shower and then come back to be a mom.
Yeah. Nice. That's gentle.
Yeah, that's gentle. But, so can someone make you angry?
Haley had or Hallie.
Hallie?
Go ahead. Microphone, red one. Okay, go ahead.
Check. Oh, so the question was, can someone make you angry?
Yes.
I feel like no matter what, you're in control of your own emotions. So if you get offended by someone, that's, you can't help it if you get offended. But at the same time, a lot of the time people mean well, but of course not always. But no, ultimately it's how you feel and how you react to what someone says, I think.
That's correct. So I'm choosing to be angry, right? Someone can't make me angry. I'm choosing to be angry. And that's what that brother over there was saying. We have to reframe our thoughts and work out, okay, why am I feeling angry? So we have to deal with our emotions first, because we're responsible for our emotions. And then we can follow through. Does that make sense? So, but it is hard when something is a perpetual problem and you have a partner who is addicted to video games, right? So how do you reframe, how do you rewrite your story or your thoughts so that you are able to come in with a gentle startup, like that sister suggested up there? I appreciate that you work, that you bring in money in, that you're supporting us. But I've had a hard day today with the kids, and the kids were looking forward to playing with you. Is it possible for you to play with the kids? Or I understand that you want to de-stress. Will 20 minutes be enough? And then after playing for 20 more minutes, then can you come and help with the kids and help with dinner, with supper? But it's not easy, right?
So I think that was actually probably one of the things in our relationship that was probably the most difficult is the emotions that I had were out of control. So I didn't know the words like emotional intelligence or cognitive behavior therapy or rational emotive behavior therapy, all those terms, I didn't know anything about it. So I was letting my emotions dictate my reactions to my wife. So how do we, if we have an emotion of anger, how do we change it? So we write in our story, how do we actually change it? It starts with what? Our thoughts. So the Bible says, bring every thought into captivity. So are you familiar with the cognitive behavior triangle? So think, feel, act. So our thoughts produce our feelings, and our feelings produce our actions or our words or what we say or how we're going to act. So we have to do start off with the mind. And when we teach people is, so what do you have to do? We catch the thought, and then we challenge it or check it. Is this a healthy thought? Is this a true thought? Is this going to build the relationship and edify the relationship, or is it going to tear it down? Is that word's going to destroy, or is it going to build up? So I can check it and analyze it, and then I can choose to change it if it's inappropriate. So if I change it, so think, feel, act. So if I catch it and I change it, I will then eliminate the emotion behind it of anger. So I can control. So neuroscience tells us how often can we change our thoughts?
What do you think? How many have every 5 minutes? 1 minute? Any guesses? How many seconds? Oh, 30? It's actually 6 times in a minute. Every 10 seconds, we have thought changes that go on, they've discovered. So we have 6 chances to change our thoughts, to rewrite the story so that positive emotions appear instead of negative.
So how many thoughts do we have in a day?
Oh, it depends. My husband has about 60,000 thoughts a day, and I have about half.
And what percentage of those thoughts are negative according to science?
What do you think? What percentage? 50%? 20% negative? Honey, tell them.
It's about 2/3 of our thoughts are negative.
They say up to 80%.
So if I have 60,000 thoughts per day, over 40,000 thoughts are negative. So that's why the Bible is very clear, by beholding we become changed. And if we bring those thoughts into captivity, all those negative thoughts are usually causing our emotions of whatever it is, fear, anger, stress. So we have the ability to change the thought every 10 seconds. So when those thoughts come in there, I really encourage you, catch the thought before it gets out of control. You have 10 seconds to catch it. You analyze it and challenge it and check it, and then you have a chance to change it before it causes relational problems. And the problem is we think of these things over and over, and our mind, the more we think about a problem, it gets the anger, the emotion, we make the emotion worse, right?
And the more we speak it to others, it gets bigger and bigger. So that's why we need this little gentle startup formula, don't we?
Yes.
To help remind us.
So here's a question. Just in closing, we want to just explore this idea. Are all negative interactions equally corrosive? Or are some negative interactions more corrosive than others? Yes. So not all negative interactions are equally corrosive. So we talk about these. These are the most corrosive. These are what Gottman calls the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. Okay? So when these 4 come into a relationship, he says these are predictors of a disaster. Okay? So criticism, that's you. Defensiveness, I'm not responsible, you're responsible. Contempt, putting the other person down, and then stonewalling, just shutting down completely. So we're going to just quickly go through those before we close off.
This worksheet is actually in your folders. It's one of the handouts. So criticism, the antidote for criticism is using gentle startups.
Which we were demonstrating the whole evening here.
And then defensiveness, the antidote for defensiveness would be to take responsibility.
So I say,
or to take ownership.
I'm
right?
so sorry. It's all my fault. I took a long shower. I should have thought of you. I should have allowed you to have the shower first. Please forgive me, right? So that's responsibility. Defensiveness is, 12-minute shower isn't too long. You're being irrational, That's defensiveness. So taking responsibility. Talk about contempt. Okay.
Contempt, but I was going to go back to your comment on 100% responsibility. So what if I'm only 10% responsible in our negative interaction and he's 90% responsible? Do I have to own my part? Yeah, we do. You can imagine if I come and I own my part and he owns his part to play. But also, what if my 10% causes 100% of his pain? It's only 10%. Usually that's what happens. My small part creates a large part of the hurt in the other person. Yeah. So contempt. So contempt, it has an antidote and a prescription as well. So it's describe your own feelings and needs, just like in that gentle startup formula. And we add in there, the other antidote for contempt is appreciate each other. So you can imagine if we change our thoughts to appreciations instead of seeing what they didn't do, we see what they did do right. Because then we're not going to create that negative filter. Everything we see goes through a negative filter. And then contempt is like criticism on steroids. I'm better than you. You don't quite understand. Kind of put downs.
It's actually, Gottman, his research, out of the most corrosive or toxic communication styles or patterns is this one, is contempt. When there's contempt in a relationship, it's usually a sign that the very toxic relationship, and the relationship, as the 4 horsemen indicate of the apocalypse, the relationship coming to an end, just like the world coming to an end. So this is actually the most serious of all of them.
It is. And the biggest way it shows up, especially in younger groups of people, is sarcasm. Sarcasm is humor at the expense of someone else. And this happens in families. I know we were in Alberta doing a seminar, and there were two families that spend time together. The one family was on this side, and the other family was on this side. And they turned to their friend, and they were vulnerable. They said, you know what? I have a hard time with your sarcasm. And we just talked about 100% responsibility and all of us, and we're wondering how this was going to play out. But he said, you know, I grew up in a family where sarcasm was the norm. And it doesn't really hurt my heart because that's just how we interact. She said, yes, it might not hurt your heart, but what about others around you? And he started to think about this, and then afterwards, they had a conversation. You could see them chatting in the room, and he said, okay, I understand. After tonight, I understand. Sarcasm is one of the biggest ways and easiest ways to wound. And that is contempt. So people say, well, I'm not contemptuous. So we see this. We were with family at the dinner table at a restaurant, and I held the menu up, and I whispered to Marlon, contempt. And I held it up again. Honey, would you like this? Contempt number 2. Held it up again. What about this one, honey? Contempt number 3. Within 10 minutes, contempt. And it was about, they were talking about how each other looked, picking on each other's looks. You know, it's just, it shows up in so many ways. Another couple, it showed up. Oh, come on, honey, tell the truth. Is that a put down? Yeah, I'm not being truthful, but I am.
So one of the ways it showed up in our relationship, which is one of the most toxic things that really damaged my wife and children, is I call it spiritual contempt. Sometimes we can do most of our sinning when we're right. And I had read a book, it was called Counsels on Food and Diet. Anybody heard of it? I got really passionate and excited when I read the book. And I got home, and my wife and the kids weren't home. So you know what I did? I decided we're going to go 100% by the book. And everything I read, we're going to do. So I threw out all the dairy. I threw out all the cream, all the milk. I threw out the ice cream in the freezer because, oh, that's the worst. And then I threw out all the chocolate. I threw out all the processed foods. I did an ethnic cleansing of our whole cleansing of our whole pantry and our fridge and our freezer. Got rid of.
Can you believe it?
Can you imagine how excited my wife was when she got home?
Oh, really expressively excited.
Hey, honey, guess what? We're going vegan. We're going 100% plant-based. No dairy, no cheese, no eggs, no everything's. I cleaned it all out. It's all.
You did what?
I cleaned out all the bad stuff out of. Here's the book, Counsels on Food and Diet. Read it. Really? Yeah, it says that this is unfit for human consumption. We shouldn't be eating these foods.
Did you ask me?
Well, no, I thought you'd be excited because this is what it says.
No, I'm not excited. Where did you put my chocolate?
I took it to the dump. It's already in the. So for years, my wife was so rebellious. She would take the kids, and when I wasn't around, she would take them to the mall, and you know what she would give them? How did you know?
Because they do it too.
Isn't that a spirit of rebellion? Isn't that terrible? And you know what I would do? Are you trying to kill our kids? I can't. Do you know that the oxidative cholesterol in ice cream? You know what Dr. Neil Nedley says? You know what? It's the most toxic thing on the planet. You shouldn't. It's going to kill our kids. Don't you care about our kids? Don't you love our kids?
It's a few times a year. They're not going to die.
A little bit of poison. I can't believe you'd do that with her. Just, you know what? So I constantly had this attitude of what? Superiority, right? Better, and you're not following the health message. I am. You need to pick it up, right? You're not doing it right. So my wife became a closet chocoholic. She had to eat her chocolate.
Did.
You know what she did? She hid her chocolate in the toilet paper rolls in the bathroom. You know why? Because I never changed the toilet paper.
It was
right?
the perfect place.
So she would have to have hidden stashes of her stuff, and then when she would go out, and the kids would tell me, and I would get so angry, so upset. You know, that righteous thing to do. I can't believe you'd do that. You're just. So that became a very big source of bitterness and resentment and hurt, not only with my wife, but my children.
All he wants to do is control me and tell me what I
No,
have
I want
to
you
do.
to eat better.
You want me to cook the way you want to eat.
No, the way the book says.
No.
If you just,
It's all your way or the highway.
it's the right way.
Oh, you want to be right or happy?
Both. You know, do we do this in our relationships? Do we do this in the church? Whatever that looks like, and we get passionate and zealous about something, but can we destroy the relationships around us? Are we the Holy? Is our job to convict? No, that's the Holy Spirit's job, right? We can't. Love never forces, never pushes. So is the health message something beautiful? Absolutely. I love it. It's my own passionate things. I follow. I live it. But can I force my wife and kids on it? Absolutely not. And when we do that, it comes across as contempt, and that is. I'm repairing with my children still to this day because of that attitude of contempt. So just, yes, let the 4 horsemen out of your life, especially the contempt.
Let them out of the gate.
What about stonewalling?
Stonewalling, I used to be really good at stonewalling. My wife was good at criticism and contempt, and I was too, but I was stonewalling. So when my emotions, we talked about the emotions a little bit earlier, I had no emotional regulation. I didn't learn as a child how to control any of my emotions. I had the emotions of a 5-year-old. So when
I had to tell him, like, why are you so sensitive?
Yes,
Like, I'm always hurting you.
So when I would get emotional, so science has actually shown if our heart rate elevates over 95 to 100 beats per minute, is what's flooding. We have our cortisol levels and our adrenaline spikes. And what happens when that happens, what we do, our frontal lobe just, and we start acting like little children. So it's like the playground. Well, you started it, it's your fault. So
you mean we become irrational?
Irrational. So we do that. And so that was our relationship. So then stonewalling is when we would check out either physically and or emotionally. So I would just be emotionally shut down. And then usually I'd check out physically. I'd go out the house, slam the door, and go for a walk, right? So, but the self-soothing, thankfully, there's an antidote, self-soothing. This is where we take 20 minutes minimum, where we listen to some classical music, maybe some hymns, maybe we read some scripture, our favorite scripture reading, whatever we want to have, memorize some Bible verses, deep breathing, and just to change our thought process, check, challenge and change.
You mean we're not supposed to ruminate on what just happened?
Not supposed to ruminate. So,
No,
and exercise.
Yeah.
So I go for a nice brisk walk for 20 minutes and to think of good thoughts.
He's thinking about all the ways he appreciates me now.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's the antidote too.
But usually in a relationship, there's usually one pursuer and one withdrawer. One's kind of trying to pursue the relationship and, hey, come back and fight like a man, and one's running out the door, right? So we got one's pursuing, one's withdrawing. We have this pattern.
Which one of you is a pursuer when conflict happens? You have to get your point across. You have to talk about it.
You want to resolve it before the sun goes down.
And which one is the withdrawer?
So usually men are 85% of the men are the stonewallers. But when a woman stonewalls, it's the end. It's done, right? Because she will pursue, and the men will usually shut down. But once she shuts down, it's over, right? And then she's just made up her mind.
The beautiful thing is we work with couples where the wife has shut down, but she can choose to start repairing like I did. You'll hear our story tomorrow, I left. I stonewalled and then I left because I was done. But there is a way forward and a way through. And we're going to share those principles tomorrow afternoon of how to restore relationships. And in the morning, too, the first one you're going to be sharing is huge.
So let's finish off with a couple Bible verses.
James 1:19 to 20, let everyone be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God. So swift to hear. How many ears do we have?
2.
How many mouths?
1.
1, yeah. Swift to hear and slow to speak.
And finally, a prayer. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable and pleasing in your sight, O Lord, my firm and movable rock and my redeemer. So to ask God to guide your thoughts, guide your meditations, guide your mouth, right? And he will. Because the book of James says that no man can control the tongue. So to submit it to God. So take a moment as we close off to pray. Pray with your partner, with your family member, with a friend. And tomorrow morning, I think we're here. What's our first meeting in the morning? 10 o'clock? Okay. Okay, take a moment to pray, and then we'll close off.
Thank you so much for being here today. Did everybody learn something tonight? I know I learned a lot. Best friend Allie over there is writing everything down, right, Allie? You're writing everything down for Lana and I. No, it was a very good time and very educational. And that's why they're so successful at what they do. They're skilled at what they do. They're certified at what they do. They've been trained by the best, and that is by Jesus Christ. Because Christ is the one that puts that born again spirit in us. Amen. We can't do anything unless we become born again. When we're having these kinds of problems, I was saying to Lana there, my wife, I was saying, you know, you've married a man who sometimes stays born and not born again. And I have to realize that transition from being born, hey, this is a good idea, I could be faking it, but once I get into it and really enjoy it, I become born again and it becomes a natural thing for me. So that's the practice as Marlon. You know, your last name should have been Brando. That would have been so cool. But anyways, because then we would have welcomed you into the Italian family very easily. But as Marlon had said before, when we practice righteousness, as James says, we practice righteousness. At the start, it might feel a little uncomfortable, might feel a little weird because we're going against our very nature, right? Because we want to be on top. But when we become born again, we become humble. We become in the likeness of Jesus Christ. And now we're all about the other person, not about us. So these are very important things. And let's face it, we've spent almost an hour and a half. If we went to therapy session, that would have cost us $400. But tonight it's free because it's the Sabbath, right? We don't charge. You just got to pay on your way out. That's it. Now, so thankful that they're all here. Great team. And we're just very blessed and honored with it. So remember, tomorrow night, if you come tomorrow night, you're going to miss the whole program. But tomorrow morning, there's the Born Again. Oh yeah, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock sharp, we're not going to have Sabbath school. We're going to continue the entire lecture and seminar from 10 o'clock, then divine service at 11 o'clock. We'll have lunch for those that have registered, and there's still room for registration, right, to be downstairs. And then we'll have continue our program at 2 o'clock, and a second program probably at 3:30 after that program here in the sanctuary. So have a good night's rest. Be back fresh at 10 o'clock in the morning. Amen? Amen. Let's just close it off with prayer, or
We have a book we want to give away. So my wife has a book here before we pray.
So we would like to give this to the couple who's been married for the least amount of years.
So is there
newlyweds.
I think it's Sean and Rachel.
Yeah, probably.
Is there anybody who less?
Oh.
Their first anniversary is in July.
Oh.
Is there anybody else younger than that?
I think there's going to be a fight. What do we do now?
Okay. So how long?
Use our tools. We have to
long have you
appreciate.
Wait, how long have you been married for? 3.5 years?
3 years.
And you a year?
Less than
Less
a year.
than a year.
There
Okay.
you go.
There you go.
There you go.
But you appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
You appreciate it. You're feeling the need there. What about right? Excellent. Perfect. See, they're good. They're happy. They're not being defensive. They're not stonewalling. They're going to come back. So it's just going to continue. This relationship's just going to keep going on. Let's have a word of prayer. Remember, have a good night's sleep. Come back at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly